Hey fantasy fans, it's Dan here with Treebeard Book Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about what I read in the month of February and what I'm going to be reading in March. Let's break it down and get into it. Hey guys, well I hope you had a great February. Good month for me too. I read, I think I read like 6 books. Yeah, 6 books in February. I did plan to read more. I was sick for a few days in February. I lost like the family day weekend. I was like laid out. Like my son brought a stomach bug home from from school, so my whole family got sick. So I ended up losing like 4 or 5 days to being ill, which sucks. But you can't help it. Like that happens. Just you can't stop the kids bringing the bugs home, right? So this video, I'm just going to talk about what I read in the month of February and what I plan to read in the month of March. So let's go talk about that now. So let's talk about the February read. So I got through 6 books. So I guess we'll start with one. One was actually it bled over from January into February, and that was Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. I think it took like, it still falls into a February read because I finished it in February. So I finished Age of Ash. There was a review on the channel, so check that out. It's a spoiler-free review. Like Age of Ash just came out this month. I think it was like February 15th it released. So check out that review. Fully spoiler-free. I'll give you my whole thoughts. Okay, so then the next book I read was The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. This was my audiobook read for the month of Feb. So finished that, really enjoyed it. I have recorded a review for it. That'll be coming out in the month of March. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It was such a good read. Finished out the First Law trilogy. Glad that's done, and I can move on to I'll probably be starting like Best Served Cold. Not right away. I want to say later on in the year, probably next quarter or next half of the year. I'll be starting Best Served Cold and getting into that trilogy. So I guess continuing with audiobook reads. I didn't get through this book, but I'm going to be finishing it up before I start my March audiobook read, and that is The Shadow Rising. So I've been listening to The Shadow Rising. I needed an audible or an audiobook read after I finished The Last Argument of Kings. So yeah, I've been listening to The Shadow Rising, 4th book in the Wheel of Time. I've been enjoying it. It's if you've seen my Wheel of Time ranking, it is my favorite Wheel of Time book. So pretty excited to be listening to that. I'm going to try and finish that up first before I start my March Audible listen. So stay tuned for the March reads coming up. So Last Argument of Kings. And then I finished The Howling Dark by Christopher Ruocchio. Man, this book was amazing. There's going to be I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free and a spoiler section of that book, just to fully talk about it because I really want to talk about it. And as you guys know, if I've announced on the channel, I will be interviewing with Jonathan over at Words in Time. I'll be interviewing Christopher Ruocchio next week. So this coming week, when this video drops, I'll be interviewing Christopher Ruocchio on the channel. We're just going to record the interview and then I'll post on our channels. So super excited for that. Get to interview and talk to Christopher Ruocchio. I've been talking to him a lot through Discord, but now, just talk to him face to face, or I'll, through the computer and have an interview together and ask a bunch of questions. So if you do have any burning questions you want to ask for Christopher, please join the Discord. And, I have a Sun Eater channel, so submit your questions to that before this coming weekend. I think it's like March 5th. So submit your questions before then, and I can, potentially ask them to Christopher. So super excited for that. So the next book I read was Gurzel. This is by Anonymous. This is it was like a historical fiction fantasy, quite a short book. I will be talking about doing a spoiler-free review. Gurzel does come out in March, so if you're interested in buying that, there will be a link to Gurzel, like the Amazon link to Gurzel, if you want to pick it up. Again, look for my spoiler-free review. I will talk about it, break the book down, what I liked, what I didn't like, and go through all those things. There was the buddy read on the channel, so that was fun. So a few people got in on that and were reading Gurzel with us. So I'm glad they did that. So the next book, what was the next book here? Oh yes, let me get it here. was The Gunslinger by Stephen King. First Stephen King I've read in like a long time. Again, review's going to be coming out in the month of March. I did enjoy it. The good thing is, like, I will say it was a quick read. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but everyone's, it's kind of said about The Gunslinger that it's one of those books that it takes, you don't start loving the series till, the second, third, fourth book. So, but definitely, wanting to read the next one. I enjoyed it. I liked more of the flashback stuff kind of going on in it. But against, wait for my review, and I kind of break it down and talk about, like, things I liked about The Gunslinger. So, yeah, good. And so, last book, where is it? Here it is The Demon in White. So, I haven't finished it. I have, like, less than 100 pages left. I'm going to be finishing it tonight after this video. So, after I'm done recording this, I'm going to go sit down and finish The Demon in White. It's, it's just been, like, RUOCCHIO month. And so, the two books I said that I was going to read and that I didn't get to was Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents by Terry Pratchett, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. And that was mainly just because I was sick. I picked up The Demon in White because I got the ARC, the advanced reader copy for Kingdoms of Death, and I was going to finish it over this long weekend. I had a 4-day long weekend planned, and I fell ill, and I couldn't read, The Demon in White, and so I've been just playing catch-up, or I would have at least squeezed one of those books in. So I think Ocean at the End of the Lane I'm still going to try and read soon. Amazing Maurice I'm going to table for a little bit, because I will have a Pratchett read for March. It's not going to be Amazing Maurice. So, yeah, so those are the books I read in February. It was actually a really good month. I enjoyed most of the books I read in February. It was a big RUOCCHIO month. I'm just absolutely loving Sun Eater. It's probably not it's my favorite sci-fi series right now. And I'm like, is it my favorite series of all time right now? I don't know. It's like I'm going to be coming out with a list this month, a video of my all-time favorites, like fantasy and sci-fi series. So my favorite series of all time, I'm going to be breaking it down and talking about that. Expect that video this month. I have a lot of cool videos planned this month. Interview with Christopher RUOCCHIO. I've developed my own book tag that I'm hoping will come out. Lots of good reviews. So yeah, March is gonna be a banger of a month, guys. So let's get into the books I'm gonna be reading in March. So I'm excited for these. All right, March reads. So let's start breaking these down. These I'm gonna break down in order that I'm gonna read them. So first we'll start with the Audible read. As I said, I'm finishing up The Shadow Rising, so I'll be finishing that one out. Hopefully, I'm gonna say like mid-month, like the 10th, and then my Audible read is gonna be Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is gonna be a big sci-fi month. This is gonna be the month of sci-fi, and I actually have a sci-fi book haul coming in March. So March is sci-fi month, guys. So I hope you're pumped for sci-fi month. So that's going to be my Audible listen, is going to be a Hyperion by Dan Simmons, and then also The Shadow Rising. Alright guys, so my first read, or my first physical read, is going to be Kingdoms of Death by Christopher RUOCCHIO. I got the ARC from NetGalley for that, so super excited. So yeah, going to be bang, 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 Howling Dark, Demon in White, and Kingdoms of Death. I want to at least get into Kingdoms of Death before I meet with Christopher and have our chat. So I'm probably going to be mixing in while I'm reading that is going to be Lesser Devil. So this is a short story. You're supposed to read this after Empire of Silence. And then I'm going to be reading The Sword and Planet. This is Christopher RUOCCHIO. He has this short story in here, Queen Amid Ashes, which is a Volca book. So they're both fairly short. I think Lesser Devil is the longer of the two. So I'm going to try and mix them in and get some quick reads going. So hopefully I can finish that. I'm going to probably prioritize those a little bit over Kingdoms of Death, because in the video, we can't obviously talk about spoilers or talk about Kingdoms of Death in that video because it won't be out. Kingdoms of Death comes out March 22nd this month. If you guys are looking to buy it, pre-order it. I will have a link below in my description if you want to pre-order Kingdoms of Death. Please do. It's an excellent book, or at least start Sun Eater. So the next big book after Kingdoms of Death I'm going to read is The Fifth Element, finally. I keep saying I've tried to put this on the TBR, I think twice now, once. I'm going to read this. Like I said, this list is going to be in chronological order. It's going to be Kingdoms of Death, Fifth Elephant, and then my next book. So I have to have a Pratchett on there. I'm so sad I didn't get to my Pratchett in February. I would have loved to have read it, but I just didn't. I'm sorry, guys. So going back into the Discworld in March. So another thing that me and my wife do is we do like kind of not a buddy read, but like a book swap where she'll give me like a romance book to read, and then I pick anything sci-fi or fantasy for her to read. So she's picked for me, it is a fantasy romance. It is A Heart of Blood and Ashes. It's one of her favorite, fantasy romances. I don't know anything about it. As you probably saw when I first started my channel earlier, I did read a book that my wife gave me, like Secrets of a Midsummer Night. I can't remember. It was by Lisa Kleypas. It was okay. Like, they're not bad. They're fun little reads. But this one, she said is really good, so I'm hoping to enjoy it. So what did I make my wife read? So I'm going to be making my wife read right there, Empire of Silence. So she's going to be starting Christopher RUOCCHIO. Get her on the RUOCCHIO train. Super excited for her to read that. Mainly just so I can talk to her about it. So, yeah, no, really, really looking forward to that, like, fun buddy read with her. So, last book I have planned, and there's a lot of chunky books on here, like luckily Kingdoms of Death is the smallest RUOCCHIO book. Like, I think it's only like 544 pages, and I don't know if that includes index, because like Demon in White, like, she's thick. Like, I could crush something with that. So the next book is going to be The Dead House Gates, book 2 in Malazan Book of the Fallen. So yeah, March is going to be a bit ambitious. I got some big things on slate for March, so lots of it's a sci-fi month. Like, it's just all sci-fi. Like, Kingdoms of Death, all the short stories, Hyperion. So, and then, like I said, there's some fantasy in there. So don't worry, I haven't left my fantasy friends behind. Like, fantasy's still my jam. It's just RUOCCHIO doesn't feel like sci-fi to me. Like, even though it's pure sci-fi, it's got this beautiful blend of sci-fi fantasy that I just absolutely adore. And he's quickly becoming one of my favorite authors of all time. So, one book I did forget to mention, which it's my ongoing read, is The Last Wish. I didn't get to read any last month. And I don't know why. I just never picked up one of the book to read a short story. I do plan to, slowly read this over the next few months. So, yeah, guys, so that's really it. Those are my reads for March. February was a great month. March is going to be a great month. I got lots of cool videos lined up. I hope you guys are excited. And again, if you guys like the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's a free way to help me out. And as always, guys, cheers.